Hey people, it is Wednesday, May the 1st. It's 11:15 in the morning and about 8 degrees Celsius. I am standing here at Nathan Phillips Square looking towards Toronto City Hall with the famous Toronto sign. A very familiar sight here in downtown Toronto. And it's a bit of a foggy day. I don't know if you can make out in the distance. Tops of some of the taller buildings are all shrouded in fog. I think the fog is supposed to lift though over the course of the morning and into the afternoon. And I'm just going to be taking a bit of a wandering walk around downtown. I think I'm going to walk along a few different streets, kind of within this heart of downtown. Maybe a bit of University Avenue, maybe a bit of Elizabeth Street, and maybe some of Bay Street, and Elm Street, and then maybe I'll take us into the Toronto Metropolitan University campus. Kind of a zigzaggy sort of walk. It's like the fog is lifting. I think the forecast calls for sunshine later in the day. I think new City Hall here is nearing its 60th birthday. I think next year it turns 60. So new City Hall is pretty old now. And of course, old City Hall over there is downright ancient by Toronto standards. That dates from 1899. Right, let's make our way through the courthouse grounds and over to University Avenue. Got Osgoode Hall right over on this side.
Oh, if nobody read my text messages, I'd probably be
And I think I can see the sun starting to peek out now. And you know you're on the courthouse grounds when freedom of expression and freedom of religion. Great view of the Canada Life building there. I think that's referred to as a Beaux Arts style. Early 1920s era skyscraper. Right, so north on University Avenue. There's a look at the courthouse.
Not anymore.
I think I'll take us up to Gerrard Street. I don't know if I mentioned that street in my introduction, but we'll walk along a stretch of Gerrard as well.
More gravitas.
I guess lunch hour is approaching. Up ahead is Hospital Row. Numerous hospitals are all located beside one another along University Avenue. This is Dundas Street. So this video is just a little bit of insurance that I'll have enough content to cover me while I'm out west. By the time you watch this, I might have already returned from my trip out west. I'm planning to go to Edmonton and Calgary with my sister, spending a couple days in Edmonton and one overnight stay in Calgary. So before I go on a trip out of town, I always like to have a bit of a backlog of videos to make sure I have something to post in case there's something stopping me from recording a video while I'm on my trip or doing a live stream. At least I know I'll have a backup video to post if necessary. So this is basically a just in case backup video. And it will most likely end up getting posted after I return from my trip, provided everything goes smoothly. Walking through Hospital Row, Sinai, got Sick Kids Hospital, got Toronto General, and we got Princess Margaret. And here's where Gerrard Street begins. So we'll head east here just for a little ways. So I'll take us over to Elizabeth Street, and then we'll walk south. A little bit of that zigging and zagging, as I mentioned. All right, south we go. Start walking behind the hospitals.
I love you. I'll let you know.
Sick Kids Hospital again. the brand new patient care center, also part of Sick Kids. It's a great looking new building for the area. Let's go down to Edward Street and we'll check out the old, now abandoned bus terminal. And this is one of the most WTF buildings downtown, I think. I can't think of any other buildings that have a exposed open air parking garage on its lower levels the way this one does. Almost looks like it belongs in a different city. Toronto usually puts its parking underground in most of its residential apartment towers and condos. And this is the old bus terminal. It's the main building, and this is the Western Annex, as they used to call it. It's looking pretty sad now. Of course, now there's a much larger, modern, new bus terminal down at Lakeshore and Bay at the CIBC Square office complex. I made many a trip to and from Toronto and beyond from this old terminal. Starting back in the 80s, I think, is when I first started traveling through here. And they still have buses parking all around here. I do have a couple of videos, though, before this bus terminal closed down on the channel, if you're interested in seeing what it was like while it was still in operation. Going back about 4 years or so, I think, was last time I recorded inside the terminal. Here we are at Bay. So now we're zigging again, or is it zagging? One or the other. This will just be a brief taste of Bay Street. I think we're going to head along Elm Street here. The fog is still stubbornly hanging around. Got a charming little row of restaurants here on this part of Elm. Here's the Chelsea Hotel. I think a viewer commented recently if I've walked past the Chelsea Hotel. I have many times, but here's another walk past for that viewer. Here's a little tidbit of info on the history of Elm Street, if you'd like to pause and read. These are awesome old historic buildings here on this stretch. That one has been facademized. Another building to add to my list of buildings getting the facade treatment. Just leaving that one wall. And a skyscraper will be constructed right behind. I think it'll be a 69-story building here rising on this site. And right behind you can see another crane hoisting a large piece of construction equipment, and that will be the site of a 85-story tower. So this will be quite the transformative corner here in the coming years when these new towers start to go skyward. I guess that crane is lowering a a forming a new floor at the Concord Sky Tower. It's just only recently gone above ground. Can I get across here now? And we're on Yonge Street. I'll just take us back up to Gerrard, and then we'll walk through the TMU campus from the Gerrard Street side. Zanzibar. All right, more construction hoarding all the way around this corner here. I think we'll get a look at the construction site from the other side here, though, of the new Concord Sky building. I guess only 83 more floors to go. It's 2 stories up down at that end. That will make it quite a bit taller than the Aura across the street. That's only 78 stories, only 78. This is the entry into the Toronto Metropolitan University campus. There's another way in up ahead. It'll take us into the quad. What is all this now? Everywhere you go, there's fencing in Toronto. Oh, I wonder if they erected this fencing as a preventative measure against potential encampments. University campuses all around North America now are hotbeds of protests, where they've erected tent encampments. I think that's what this is for, maybe? What else would it be for? I read that University of Toronto has erected a fence around its main quad also. So that would be my guess. Well, that wouldn't be so hard to just throw a tent over the fence and climb over and then put up your tent if you're really determined. So this is the TMU campus tour underway right there. This is one of the two big university campuses in downtown Toronto, the other one being the University of Toronto. I think I'm going to start to wrap up the walk here on the TMU campus on this foggy Wednesday. I think eventually this fog will lift. So I hope you enjoyed the walk. We kind of zigged and zagged up and down various streets, starting at Toronto City Hall, Nathan Phillips Square, and ending up here on the TMU campus. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if so. Let me hear your thoughts, if you're so inclined, and also make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Also make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. Or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member, or you can also send a super thanks if you like. You can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members, and be sure to keep checking back, because as always, I will continue.